Jurgen Klopp called into question after close friends' private chat fuels Real Madrid links. Jurgen Klopp's vow to take a break from club management after leaving Liverpool has been called into question amid strong rumors linking him with Real Madrid. The former Reds boss, who cited exhaustion as a key reason for ending his 9-year stint at Anfield, has since taken up a role as head of global soccer for the Red Bull Group. However, speculation about a move to Madrid has grown in recent weeks, despite Klopp's insistence that he wouldn't be managing a club for a while. This comes as reports suggest that Carlo Ancelotti is set to leave the Bernabeu following a lackluster season with Los Blancos. On that Peter Crouch podcast, the former Liverpool striker and ex-Chelsea player Steve Sidwell discussed the possibility of Klopp heading to Madrid this summer. Crouch suggested that accepting the job would contradict Klopp's original reason for stepping back from club management. Sidwell, however, believes it's not in Klopp's nature to stay away from the game for too long, reports the Liverpool Echo. "I just don't think he's one for rest," Sidwell said. "Look at Pep Guardiola. I think they're just born to be involved. They need it at the start, then they just get dragged back in." Talk of Klopp taking the reins at Madrid has also been given weight by his close friend, Miroslav Tanjga. Having previously been Klopp's teammate at Mainz, Tanjga has said that the German has targeted 2 jobs that he has yet to take. "What Klopp told me when he left Liverpool was that he had 2 wishes, to be the coach of the national team and of Real Madrid. I don't know if either of them will come true," he was quoted as saying by AS. "He's certainly one of the candidates for the Real Madrid job, but for now, all of this is pure speculation. I also know that he never saw himself as the coach of any other team in England, except Liverpool. He doesn't want to go to Serie A or France, and at some point, I think he'll become the German coach." Addressing his departure from Anfield, Klopp was candid with supporters about his potential future on the touchline. "If you asked me, will you ever work as a manager again? I would say now no," Klopp said in January 2024. "But I don't know obviously how that will feel because I never had the situation. What I know definitely, I will never, ever manage a different club in England than Liverpool, 100%. But all the rest, will I ever work again? Of course, I know myself, I cannot just sit around. I will find something else maybe to do. But I will not manage a club or a country at least for a year. That's not possible. I cannot do that and I don't want to. That's all." Despite speculation, Klopp's agent has recently moved to calm chatter that he could be set to move to the Spanish capital. Jurgen is very happy with his new role as head of global soccer at Red Bull, Mark Kozik told Sky Germany earlier this month. "He's fully focused and happy there. I heard Arne Slot's pre-Chelsea comments after months of focus. Liverpool's aims have changed. It wasn't immediately obvious what to expect from Friday's press conference. What to ask Arne Slot with nothing on the line across the next 4 weeks. That, of course, is the scenario that now faces Liverpool, having wrapped up the Premier League title with 4 games to spare. That sparked last week's spectacular scenes at Anfield as a first title in front of fans was secured after 35 years. Understandably, there was a sense of, after the Lord Mayor's show, heading into the pre-Chelsea round of media questions, but it ultimately proved more newsworthy than several media briefings earlier this season. The last time the Dutchman spoke to reporters was when he strode into the Anfield press room smelling of stale champagne. That certainly wasn't the case on Friday, although the man who wrapped up the Premier League early ran a little behind schedule. The first sign of slipping standards? Maybe not. The customary Kirkby precursor undoubtedly had a more relaxed feel. Slot reflected on last Sunday's unforgettable scenes, disclosed that he received a congratulatory text from Jurgen Klopp, and admitted that his relationship with the fans had gone up a notch after last week's celebrations. "This is nice, isn't it?" But a standard Trent Alexander-Arnold question was thrown into the mix. No, there's no news. An encouraging injury. Conor Bradley's injury update emerged, in addition to a few probing queries about the opposition. Slot praised Chelsea, conceded his side were fortunate to come away with 3 points when they last met in October, before throwing in a "that's why we're champions" digression. Slot's always minded to praise the opposition. It's probably a fair remark on this occasion for 5th place Chelsea, although it has beaten a side inside the top 10 just once since the start of December. But the Liverpool boss comments on Chelsea were the first indication that perhaps his usual laser focus has been somewhat diverted. That he only watched parts of the Blues' midweek Europa Conference League win over Djurgården was telling, while the admission that he plans to mix up his team over the next 4 matches is an obvious implication that the need to take maximum points isn't quite as critical over the next few weeks. We are going into these 4 games trying to win them all, of course, Slot insisted. That's what every player who wears the Liverpool shirt should aim for. My lineups will be different from what we've had mostly during the last 10 months. We're not going to change everyone, but there will be some players that come into the team. There will be a certain rotation in the upcoming games. That's not to say we are going to lose them. We have a lot of trust in the players who are going to play now. Slot also strongly implied that he expects the team to drop points before the end of the season, that standards will inevitably fall. I would judge us more on the amount of points now compared to teams that won it in the past, 4 games before the end. There is definitely a difference if now we are still competing. There's a difference between just playing and competing. The former seems more apt now for Liverpool. And after months of declaring that the next game is the most important, that looking into the future is futile, there was an obvious shift from Slot on Friday. What comes next is very much at the forefront of his mind. When asked what the main upside of winning the title early is, he responded, I think the main advantage of winning the league is that until now if I spoke to new players we wanted to bring in, I always told them that our fans are really special, that it's special to play at this club. I think that was not even necessary to tell them in the past, but after Sunday I don't think I ever have to tell anyone again how special our fans are, because that was unbelievable. Winning the league, having these fans, I think is a big attraction to every player we want to bring in, and that's definitely helpful. It's not hard to read between the lines there. Liverpool holds an advantage over everyone else, that as rivals continue their respective pursuits for silverware and league positions, the Reds can focus on recruitment. And by the sounds of it, Slot is already contacting potential signings. More questions about Liverpool's transfer policy are likely over the coming weeks, even if results and performances tail off. Slot's unlikely to give much away, that's not his style. But Friday's press conference was perhaps the clearest sign yet that moves are afoot this summer. The Liverpool coach has prioritized on-field success above all else since his arrival. That, it seems, has changed. Thanks for watching. Like and comment, subscribe.